What's up guys, Itchy here. Today I'm bringing you a video on the Vortex Arena and what I think that they should fix in it. Just some suggestions on what I think that they should change next time around, I guess when the next one comes out, and so that people stay interested and so that it's a little bit less annoying, because I will say that people are just getting frustrated with it or they're just completely losing interest because there's not a whole lot of incentive. So, as you can see here, my current rank is 1016, and my ABP is around 20,000, and yeah, it's getting to be pretty tough here, because this is a complete and total dead zone. My current rank is 1016, which means it is very hard to find anybody above me or below me that's actually worthwhile. Reason being, well, most people stop either around when they get to the top 1,000, or they just kind of slowly keep themselves in it and they don't try and go any farther than that. And then on top of that, as you'll see here, when I enter, I can still see people that are exalted, which is ridiculous. If you look here, in the rank info, exalted, 10,000 points. That means I have 20,000, almost 21,000. I'm still seeing people with at least 10,000 points, which is insane. There's no reason I should be seeing anybody that low. And it takes forever to find an opponent, absolutely forever, because I'm still seeing people that are exalted, and anybody who looks like they have a decent amount of wins, and I could actually fight, they actually have around the same ABP as me, which is insane. Like here you have 146, they actually are probably way below me because they have the 54 losses, but I've been fighting people who have up to 300 wins, and they still have either less or just the same as me, which just makes it take forever. I've actually replenished orbs just sitting here refreshing, trying to find an opponent that's worthwhile. So that is definitely something they could fix, and in order to fix that, they could either change it from ABP to ranking. In other words, you would find people based on your ranking instead of how many points above or below, or just keep it just like Arena, where you can only find people within 3,000 points, which would make things perfect, because then you wouldn't be sitting there refreshing forever. And the problem is, the higher you get, the harder it is to find anybody that's even close to you, because, well, everyone's going to be below you, and that's understandable when you're up in like the 50s or the hundreds or something, but at 1,000, I mean, I'm probably seeing 50,000 people that are below me and only 999 people that are above me, so it's kind of a problem when you're trying to break that top 1,000, especially since everyone quit as soon as they got the unit. And that brings me to my next point. I think that they should offer bigger incentives higher up, past the unit, put back in the 32,000 if you're going to do that. I see a lot of people wasting tons and tons of gems for no reason, basically, just trying to get the higher spots, but, I mean, if you see somebody with like 500 wins, that's a complete and total waste. That means they spent all those gems and they're most likely not going to get anything, because if you see here in the ranking, people are way, way up there, and you're just not going to be able to catch them, especially since they have incredible disposable accounts, that income that you just cannot match. So yeah, that's one problem right now, and then on top of that, like I said, since people gave up, this is pretty much a dead zone. It's really hard to find people anything past this. Another thing I think that's shying people away is the fact that the orbs refresh every 20 minutes. Now that sounds fine and great and all, but unless you can check your phone every hour, or you're really ready to check it every 50 minutes or whatever like that, yeah, you were not going to have a chance to keep up with the orbs, which means people who have all day to do whatever, whenever, they're going to have an advantage on you no matter what. And I think that's shying away a lot of the free players, because a lot of them don't have the time to put into it, and the time that they do, now that they feel like they are pretty much wasting things, because either they are going to get the unit after a little bit of work, or they said they're not even going to bother because it's just not worth the time and effort. So, and the last thing I wanted to mention was the daily prizes. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. I have seen a few other people experience this, but the daily prizes aren't based the way that you think they are, and that is because it changes per day. As you can see here, I got the rank for being within the top 100,000, which makes no sense. If I'm within the top 1,000, which I was last night before I went to sleep, I don't understand why it should be a problem for me to get those gifts. So in other words, they're giving out ones for what you did during that day. So in other words, I would still have to spend tons and tons of gems just to try and get, what, an extra 3 gods or something like that. Something I could easily get just by playing, using a metal key or something like that, which I could get way more out of using 1 key and spending a gem there than I could ever get out of stupid daily rewards that I'm barely going to get anything for. So yeah, that pretty much does it for the suggestions. I know there's plenty more out there, and I know there's plenty of people who have more also. By all means, leave them down in the comments, and I'll add them into another video, and hopefully they do fix a few of these issues the next time around, and hopefully we are able to see a little bit of improvement as far as this goes, because it's a very good idea. It's a lot of fun to be able to play this, and it's a lot of fun to go against other people. But one last suggestion before I forget, I think you should be able to see your friends' rankings. I'd like to see how my friends are doing and not just get screenshots every now and then. And B, I'd also like to see defensive wins. I'd like to see how my team is stacking up against other teams, especially since my team is attacking second. I'd like to see what kind of stuff I could do to maybe play defensively next time around. Maybe set up a team so that I could have it ready for defense so that people can't rack up the points on me. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have some suggestions of your own. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Take it easy.